The first time I played Outer Wilds, I sunk about 4 hours into it. At the time, that was enough for me to decide that I hated the game. I felt there was no sense of progression, exploration was boring, I wasn't invested in the story, and nothing was connecting. It's been a few years since I last played, and a friend told me to give the game another shot, so here I am, about 15 hours later, and alright, I admit I was wrong. I used to hate the Outer Wilds, but if you were like me, this is why you should give the game another chance. Without getting into any major spoilers, of course, the game's whole narrative revolves around the dying solar system which you live in. Your sun has reached the end of its natural life cycle, leaving you with 22 minutes to explore the solar system and its planets before the sun explodes. Lo and behold, you're trapped in a time loop. Why? Well, that's what you have to spend the game figuring out. Scattered across each of the planets are different pieces to the puzzle surrounding the time loop that you're trapped in, and the experiments of the alien race which used to occupy the system. On one planet, you might find a piece of information which leads you to clues on another planet, which may tell you about how to get to a location on this planet, to find more clues about the experiments going on in this other planet. It's like a really long game of cat and mouse, except the mouse you're chasing died hundreds of thousands of years ago, and you're only chasing the remnants of its ghost. When I first played the game a few years ago, this is the part that lost me. Information is so scattered and scarce. Everything you find through the beginning of the game makes no sense. There is no given order for you to approach exploration, so for all you know, you may find some lore pieces relating to the ending of the story at the beginning. When I first found this, I was put off and gave the game up, but this time I decided to stick it out until the end. Honestly, it takes a while before you start connecting the dots of what happened and really get invested in this story you're being told through fragmented memories. But once you finally do, it's one of the most satisfying and rewarding experiences out there in gaming, and it almost brought a tear to my eye. I took for granted the sense of ultimate freedom that you're given, and this non-linear approach which takes your hand and throws it out into space with no direction. This is the reason why so many people who recommend this game insist that you don't research anything about this game and just play it, or you're going to spoil the experience. Because truly, if anything is revealed to you about this story, I can imagine that the whole experience is ruined. Okay, that title is a little bit dramatic. I just thought it sounded cool. But the planets really carry this game for me. Each planet you go to has their own unique environmental hazards which make exploration more engaging and fun, and even scary. There aren't any kinds of enemies which spawn in and attack you. No, the planet itself is the enemy, apart from that one planet, but we'll get into that later. First off, we've got Brittle Hollow, probably my favourite of the planets, which has a volcanic moon made of lava in close orbit that constantly shoots molten rock at the surface. Eventually, the surface layers crumble and fall back to the black hole at the planet's core. If you fall in, don't worry, there's a station built there which can transport you back pretty quickly. But I didn't know this when I was playing, so I spent quite a lot of time hurling myself through space back towards the planet. Alright, let's fucking go, I've so got this. Okay, I'm coming up to it. I'm coming up to it. Let's go. No, I'm gonna fucking die. Unsuccessfully, of course. Next up, we've got the Hourglass Twins. Two planets by the sun which are in a close orbit of each other. So close, in fact, that ash rains from one planet onto its twin. A planet which is full of tight and winding caves. So not only are they dark and scary, but you've got the added pressure of ash filling the room. So you've got to be quick, or you'll get crushed and have to listen to your bones crumble and snap. Sounds like the average day for a cave diver, honestly. I'd probably love this place. But that's not all. Once the ash is depleted from the neighbouring planet, it reveals a set of structures for you to go and explore. How fun. Then we've got Giant's Deep, the first planet which you see in the sky when you wake from death. This guy is basically just a green Jupiter, and also planet 4546b from Subnautica. It's got constant raging storms and tornadoes. Oh wait, this planet sounds pretty realistic. What's the catch? Well, maybe it's the tornadoes that are so strong they shoot entire islands up into space. And even a superstorm. These guys are pretty ominous, and I've got to be honest, they scared me away from the planet the first time. But if you manage to brave the storms, you'll find an empty ocean, an impassable current, and an electric core to top it all off. And finally, we have Dark Bramble. A space junk planet filled with vines and thorns that twists reality through its infinite pockets. Oh, and how could I forget? Well, I can't get into Dark Bramble because there's... Oh. Actually not. I'll give it a try, but it looks scary.
Oh my!
Oh, there's something inside of there.
Oh no!
Nah, you know what? I think I've changed my mind. Outside of the planet, we've got extra little bodies throughout space. We have the Interloper, Quantum Moon, and the Sun Station. But these are for you to go and explore yourself. Real talk though, all of these planets are so great at adding to the exploration in this game. Your environmental hazards all play towards some sort of deeper exploration, which you have to figure out and play around with yourself, making the experience all the more rewarding and just downright a pleasure to play. I can't believe I didn't realise this the first time around, thinking all these hazards just to be a plain nuisance to get in the way of whatever you're doing. But how wrong I was, am I right? Fuck this ship. The Outer Wilds' entire foundation lies with this hunk of shit right here. Sounds awesome, right? I'm a big fan of No Man's Sky, so space exploration is just kinda second nature to me at this point. It's nice and it's relaxing. Let's hop in. Alright, we've got a nice interior. We've got a terminal showing all my progress. My suit. Wait a sec. These driver's controls are ass? That's alright, it's easy to learn. So let's go land on this planet. Fuck! Nice. Okay. Funny, right? Well, how many times did this happen? What? What? Excuse me? I was on... Okay. Don't leave autopilot unattended. What the hell? Okay, it happened a lot more. I just can't find the video, so take my word for it. Now I know that there's a landing mode, but I've got to be honest, I hated using that. Something about it just felt really off, so I always opted to try and do it myself, however stupid it may be. And hey, I want to think I got pretty good at it. All jokes aside, I do appreciate that the game didn't go for some sort of ship design adjacent to No Man's Sky. I like this guy. It looks so shit, so like, it's charming. It's like looking at a dog so ugly that it becomes really cute. And the controls factoring in how it would really work in space is pretty cool. If you accelerate 800 kilometers a second in one direction, you aren't going to come to an instant stop unless you crash. But you have to go 800 kilometers a second in the other direction first, and even that shit out. Now I want to get into one of my main gripes with this game, and that's unfortunately got to do with these other explorers. Whilst I love the aesthetics surrounding them and appreciate the sense of friendliness and community that they add to each planet, they just don't really get any development. And most of them seem kind of incompetent. It adds a bit of personality to them, yeah, but how are half of these guys space explorers? It seems like you've got no clue what's going on. You're telling me I'm out here busting my ass every 22 minutes, dying on repeat to figure out what's going on in this time loop, and all these guys are just lounging around, doing nothing? Especially you, Cabro. I'm about to put you on the screen here, fuck you. But I forgive you, Feldspar. I'm not putting him on the screen though. It doesn't match my edit. Oh, actually, psych, there he is. What I'm basically saying is, these guys need to put a shift in and get off their arse. At least when they play music together it sounds kinda cool. Got me emotional for real. So I'm just gonna let it play for a second. Hell yeah. Alright, so I've talked about pretty much everything I've wanted to here. I know it's not much, but the game is really hard to talk about and truly sell to someone without getting into the nitty gritty of spoilers. And I tried my best not to spoil anything. Just trust me bro, I'm gonna add to the meme. This is a game that everyone needs to play. It doesn't take that long, it's chill, it's rewarding, and hey, these developers deserve all the praise that they get. If you couldn't tell, I don't hate the Outer Wilds. I think it's pretty good now. I was wrong. I'm thinking of releasing a little gameplay video of my experience alongside it, so if anyone wants to see that, let me know. Alright, bye.